Actual YouTube, see if the stream is going well. Are we live? Are we good? Are we Taco Bell? Let me shake my head around a few times, make sure it is not lagging. It is not. It is running buttery smooth. And hello, what is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to Rec Room. I am joined here with Samsite.
Hey. And
this is kind of the big, besides what I'm going to be doing my New Year's live stream, this is kind of the big send off movies for the year. This is not my top 12 lists of movies that I saw this year. That is not this. That'll happen later, but that's not this. This live stream, we're going to be just talking about all the movies we saw. Even if I didn't see it, if Sam saw it, he's going to talk about it. If Sam didn't see it, I'm going to talk about it. But most of the movies we saw this year, I'm pretty sure we both saw. Most of them.
For the most part, yeah.
Well, because he didn't start going to the movies till a good midway through the year.
Yeah, it was pretty late.
And I was going since the beginning of the year, because as soon as movie theaters opened up around where I live, I was like, I straight up got on that bandwagon. That was before this year even happened. First movie I saw back in theaters was it was Hocus Pocus with a re-release for Halloween.
There wasn't enough strong movies coming out in theaters to justify going at the beginning of the year.
I think the better movies were in the latter half of the year.
We did have Godzilla vs. King Kong, though. That was one of the first, you need to go see it.
Big
movies.
Yeah, which I did. But I have a list of most of the movies we're going to be looking at are American films, movies that were made in America, made for America, not for America, made for, but made by American. Wait a sec. There we go. I had a little lag there. Had a little lag
thing. Any foreign films this year in theaters, or?
Yes. The sort of online movie.
Oh, okay. I mean, you could talk about that.
Oh no, we are going to talk about that. If it came out this year, we're going to talk about it. It didn't, regardless if it came out in theaters or streaming service or direct to DVD. If we saw it, we're going to talk about it. The only qualification is it came out this year. All right. So I guess let's just go ahead and get into it. And we'll list out pretty much at least every American movie, and I'll be like, have you seen it? Have I not seen it? Okay, so I have a whole list here. And the first one is Shadow in the Cloud. I have no idea what that is. Did you see that?
Never heard of it.
In the chat, guys, if any of you guys have seen these movies, let us know in the chat if they're good movies or not.
In the Cloud.
Then we got White Tiger. Didn't see that. Locks Down, which is one I wanted to watch. It's actually a movie that takes place.
The pandemic.
It's like a romance movie. Like it takes place in the pandemic. And obviously, I haven't seen it, but I do want to eventually watch it, and I will eventually, but haven't done it yet. Outside the Wire, you seen that?
Nope.
The Ultimate Playlist of Noise. The Marksman.
Marksman, no, doesn't do that either.
American Skin.
What?
American Skin.
Skin?
Yeah.
It's like a pork rind or something.
Don't Tell a Soul. I saw trailers for that one. I don't remember anything about it. Our Friend, don't know that one. No Man's Land.
It's probably a World War I movie.
Born Eterna Champion, which was released by Lionsgate. Okay, here we go. Wrong Turn. This is one I've seen, so I can talk about this one. So this was the first movie I saw this year. And it's a reboot of the Wrong Turn franchise. Have you seen any of the Wrong Turn movies? Any of them?
Never got around to it. Never really interested in it.
You ever seen The Hills Have Eyes?
I've heard of that one, but no. Is it
Inbred...
another hillbilly flick?
A what?
You know, hillbilly inbred cannibals, that kind of thing.
They're inbred cannibals. This is a reboot of the series, but it's definitely very different from the other movies. It's the main thing about this movie compared to the originals is it's not inbred cannibals at all, like not even in the slightest. It's a completely different kind of movie. But I think that's actually a good thing because one, the gore for some of the kills in this movie look phenomenal. Like some of the makeup effects. Like there's one scene in the movie. Oh, we will get into spoilers for some of these movies, so you'll be warned. We'll let you guys know when we get into spoilers for them. So spoiler here. There's this one scene with this girl. She gets literally crushed by a log. This guy. Sorry, it was a guy. Crushed by a log. And like they show you deliberately what it looked like, and it looks so disturbing, and like it looked really nice. And the whole morals of the movie is like you learn as the movie goes on that these people aren't even bad people. They're just attacking people because they attacked first, and they just thought they were being attacked. I'd recommend it if you have not seen it. I'm not gonna go too detailed. We'll go more into detail with the ones that we've both seen. Let's see. Okay, next we got on here is Penguin Bloom. Don't know what that is. If one of them you've seen, let's shout it out if you've seen them. The Little Things. Nope. Finding Ohana. So, Ohana means family.
Released this year.
It means no one.
Normland, Malcolm and Mary, Palmer,
sucky movie.
Falling Bliss, Little Fish, Son of the South, PVT Chet, Music, Judas and the Black Messiah. I did know about that one. I didn't watch it though. It was one of the ones that were released in theaters and HBO Max. But I didn't see. It's based on a true story apparently.
Judas and the Black Messiah,
the
biblical characters.
No. It's not biblical. It takes place, I think, in like maybe the 70s or 80s. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I saw a trailer. I know it's a period. I think you'd say it's a period piece. I guess it takes place. I don't know anything really about it. I'm not. I can't really talk about it since I haven't seen it. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Breaking news in Yoba country. Barb and Star go to Vin Diesel Mariah. To all the boys I always and forever okay. I watched the first two of those movies and have reviewed both of them on the channel. Go check them out if you haven't. Haven't watched the third one yet. Didn't really like the second one, so have no high hopes for that third one, so all right, okay, here we go. You didn't watch the whole thing, but Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, that came out this year. It wasn't, it was a fun movie. I saw almost all of it. I had fun watching it. It wasn't good,
Oh yeah,
but it was fun.
it was. Well, we watched it with a group of friends.
That was also a big part of it. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
I would watch that by myself.
Well, I was planning on going to see it. It didn't get. It was like, because like this was still when movies were still being very hesitant about releasing in theaters.
Yeah, this was early.
This movie only got released in certain theaters. Like my theater didn't show it. It released digitally for. That's how we watched it, and like we all watched it as a group, which was the first time we watched a movie together as a group. And
this was when the ice storm was in full swing too.
It was bad.
Big event. Yeah.
It was a bad movie, but it was fun. I do think it's a fun movie. It's fun, but bad. Like it's not as bad as some other movies I've seen. Definitely not the worst of the year. We all know what that is when we get to that. But okay, each movie we've seen, we'll rate it out of 5, like I do normally on my channel. I don't remember what I gave this one.
Okay.
I don't know what I gave this one back when I reviewed it, but I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 or either a 2.5. So I'll stick with a 2.5 for right now.
I'd put it with a 2, pretty low. It's not good, not terrible.
And it also seemed like they were trying to beat the animatronic horror movie. Trying to beat to the FNAF before the FNAF movie happens. And then the second movie to do that, they had the Banana Splits horror movie a couple years ago. That was also bad.
Yeah. We talked about that for a good amount of time. I thought they should have done something else with the Banana Split characters. They could have done something way better. They're not even animatronics.
Yeah, they are.
No, the original Banana Split.
Okay, that movie came out in like 2017. Characters. We're not talking about 2017 movies.
Okay.
All right. We got the Fear of Rain. I Care a Lot. Flora and I'm not even trying to say that. I'm gonna say that weird. Silk Road. Tom and Jerry. Did you see that? The Tom and Jerry movie?
No, I know you saw it though.
Oh, I didn't actually.
You never went and ended up seeing it?
I was gonna see it in theaters, but I just never got around to it. It was one I actually wanted. I heard it was too. But I also heard when it does the Tom and Jerry stuff, it's fun. But also it's hard to stretch the Tom and Jerry antics out for a whole film.
Yeah, I've tried it before. It hasn't worked that well.
Well, and the last time I did a Tom and Jerry movie, they really didn't even do the whole Tom and Jerry antics. It was like they had a whole different. They had them talking and everything.
Was that really the last one before this one?
Well, they've done like those direct-to-video things. The last time
then the Tom and Jerry movies from like 90 or 91 or something.
Yeah, almost like 30 years.
That's a interesting watch. I don't know if I would say that's good. I wouldn't watch the new Tom and Jerry movie. I'm just not that interested. I only watched the old one for pure
Apparently there was
reasons.
There was a Billie Eilish like documentary movie this year. Wow, really hate that I missed that. A movie called Moxie, the sequel to Coming to America. Bad.
A lot of advertising. Yeah, it was bad. And I was in front.
All right, can you hear me? Am I good? Am I here?
You're good.
Okay, sorry. That might happen a few more times but just because of my VR doesn't like want to work sometimes. But yeah, did you see the Coming to America? Did you see that?
No.
I never even seen the original.
Me neither. Didn't really interest me. I like Eddie Murphy, but...
Alright, then we've got the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, which... It did release everywhere in 2020, but it released here in 2021. I watched it in 2020 with a VPN and watched it on what was it like Japanese Netflix or UK UK Netflix, something like that. So I guess I can talk about that for a minute, even though I technically consider that a 2020 movie, because the majority of people got it in 2020. I didn't like it. It had some great animation, but it was the weakest of all the SpongeBob movies, in my opinion. But I say watch it for the animation alone, because the animation is really nice, and they do a lot of good with that animation. So I'd say watch.
It's hard to top Sponge Out of Water for not a very good SpongeBob movie.
I enjoyed Sponge Out of Water.
Yeah, but compared to, the SpongeBob movie.
Oh yeah, that's because I was really surprised that I liked Sponge Out of Water as well, because I don't like modern SpongeBob, and that was like in the era, and I actually liked that movie. And this movie's not awful; it's better than a lot of modern SpongeBob, but it's just a retread of stories we've seen in older episodes of SpongeBob, which is kind of lazy.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, what we got? Oh, okay. Rhea and the Last Dragon. Did you see that?
No. It's been on my watch list for a while now.
Me neither. I own it on Blu-ray and I still haven't seen it.
And it's been on Disney Plus for a while now.
It was one of the movies that had the premiere access too, I think, when it came out.
I think it was the charged one though, wasn't it?
Yeah, the premiere access. Yeah, you had to pay like $30 to be able to watch it.
That's ridiculous.
I know. God, I'm so glad Disney stops doing that. Let's see what we got next. Chaos Walking. Did you see that? That was a Tom Holland movie.
Then you know I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
No.
It's based on a book, and apparently it was a really bad adaptation of the book.
Not even Tom Holland could save that one,
huh? Okay, wait. Let me see. Boss Level, Boogie, Yes Day, Long Weekend, Cosmic Sin, Trust, Zack Snyder's Legend, the freaking Justice League Snyder cut. Didn't watch it. I want to, but like that 4-hour runtime just is what turns me away from it. And I'm not a person that like that.
Didn't your dad watch it twice?
Yeah, my dad has seen it twice.
Ridiculous. I have.
Like, see, if it would have released in theaters, I would have sucked it up and went and watched it.
That's still a tough sell, though.
It's just saying, like, it's. But at home, it's at home.
4 hours.
Might as well with freaking Endgame. That thing was 3.5.
Oh, that's true. It didn't seem like that long.
But like, it's sitting at home, and at home, I've rewatched Endgame, but like, it's like I'm doing something else while I'm watching it. Like, I just don't feel. I just don't feel. But like, I've seen Endgame though. That's the reason. Like this is even though I've seen the original version of Justice League, like this adds a bunch of stuff. And I own this on Blu-ray too, and maybe owning it on Blu-ray will motivate me to watch it more, but I don't know. We'll just have to see one day. Maybe I'll watch it in
would be
multiple
nice to
sittings.
see, it would be nice to see that movie have a little redemption for me, because it's just like.
Oh, some people. I've heard great things about it. I have heard great things about it.
Oh yeah.
But I just haven't seen it yet, and I really want to. It's just runtime pushes me away from wanting to watch this movie. All right, let's see what our next few are. We got the CODs. Okay, I know none of us saw that. City of Lies, Happily, Nobody, Bad Trip, The Seventh Day, Senior Movement, Concrete Cowboy, The Unholy. I heard that was disappointing. I think Paul went and watched that.
Unholy.
Uh-huh. It's got the guy that plays Negan from The Walking Dead in it. I know that. Every Breath You Take, Shiva, Baby, The Girl Who Believed in Miracles, The Believer, Dawn of the Beast, Voyagers, Thunder Force, which I heard was really bad. Arlo the Alligator, wanted to watch it, didn't get around to it. Moon Day, In the Earth. Saw Mortal Kombat. You saw that.
Mortal Kombat. I was actually talking about this with somebody the other day. It's very much another. It fits right along with the other Mortal Kombat movies. It's not that good. They barely even focused on the whole tournament of Mortal Kombat. There was some cool action scenes, but they introduced an original character.
Actually, I found out he's not original. Apparently, he's just renamed.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. Because
don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that.
I heard they wrote him for the movie, but basically he lives in the world of Mortal Kombat, and everything is happening around him. It's like, and you get like one or two fight scenes with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which are really cool, but it wasn't enough to save the movie. Not even close, and they're making it.
I heard it was like they were too focused on building up a sequel to make this movie good. That's what I heard.
I would put this in the same boat as Willy's Wonderland. It was just, except it wasn't that fun to watch. I mean, there was some fun scenes, but even in a group setting, it wouldn't be that good. So like probably.
I remember I saw a review of a guy that I watch who does reviews. He when he reviewed the movie, he said he gave the movie his rating as better if you're drunk, but then he actually watched it drunk with one of his friends, and all they did was just like nitpick the movie the whole time, and he said it was even worse when they were drunk.
There's a lot of problems with it.
All right, well, let's move on to the next.
I wouldn't recommend it.
All right, this one, you only saw like the last 10 minutes of this, or 15 minutes of this. The Mitchells versus the Machines. You came like the last.
A tiny bit.
But this movie was so freaking good. These two guys that direct these movies, anything they touch is basically gold. But they're the people that did the Cody with Chance of Meatballs, the Lego Movie, Spider-Verse, Lord and Miller. That's it. That's their names. Lord and Miller. Clone High. Everything those guys touch, I love. And this movie is definitely probably the best animated movie of the year, in my opinion. Well, maybe one other movie is better than this one, but in the animation department. But I love the way this movie looks. The animation is just, it's funny too. There is some comedy that really just doesn't. Oh wait, you didn't give your rating for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it is like a 1.5 or 2. Oh, okay. Wouldn't recommend it.
But Mitchell vs. the Machines is such a good movie, and I loved it. I really wish it got a theatrical release. Sony Animation's movies just really didn't really get theatrical releases this year. All their movies got put on Netflix because they made a deal with Netflix, which really sucks because they had two other movies that came out this year, Vivo and Wish Dragon. I didn't see those ones, but I heard they were good.
Oh, for their animation department.
Yeah, they're animated movies, and which really stinks because Sony's animation is really turning around. And it seems like their next animated feature, they're going to be putting it back in theaters with the next Spider-Verse. But Mitchell vs. the Machine is a dang good movie, and I would highly recommend if you haven't seen it. I give it a solid 4.5 out of 5.
Wow, that's up there.
All right, then we got The School. I don't know how to say that. Together, we broke up. The Deep Ones, Things Heard and Seen. 4 Good Days, Separation, The Resort, Wrath of Man, The Monster, Paper Tigers, Main Street, The Waterman, Here Today, Above Suspicion, Reboot Camp, Benny Loves You. I haven't seen this one, but I want to talk about it real quick. All I know about it... No. Benny...
The Water Boy.
Benny Loves You is a movie that was basically made by one guy. Like, he edited it himself, he starred in it, he wrote it, he filmed it. Like...
Oh,
this is the one I was
gonna watch that.
I still really want to watch this, and I've heard it's not bad. Even though one guy basically did everything, it's not bad. And I really want to give it a watch. And that's all I got to say. I can't say anything else because I haven't seen the movie. Next we got Oxygen, Army of the Dead, Those Who Wish Me Dead, The Woman in the Window. Okay, Spiral. We both saw this one.
Spiral?
Mm-hmm. Spiral from the Book of Saw.
I didn't like that they ended it the way they did. I know Saw loves sequels, but starting off with the spin-off type same universe thing right out the gate with the anticipation of it having one. And the traps, I mean, the traps weren't good. There wasn't enough. There was like 1 or 2 traps that I really remember, and it was the bottle shard trap and then the tongue train trap, which was only in there for like 30 seconds at the very beginning.
All right, well, let me say my piece. You saw my review. I really liked this movie. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year because I'm a massive Saw fan. And obviously, he's coming from this as someone who's not a fan. He's only seen, the first 2 movies besides this one?
Yeah, but even still, objectively speaking...
Oh, see, because I'm also in a boat where I can say the Saw movies, a lot of them aren't good movies, but this one I do feel is one of the higher of the movies in my opinion. Because one, I think the movie looks great. Like, it's filmed great. Like, the fact that the movie takes place during a heat wave, and by watching the movie, you can tell they make it look like they're in a heat wave with the lighting and just the way the movie's filmed.
True. Yeah, it did look.
And this movie's not afraid of color. Like, that's something I really like. It, looks really good with, the shading of everything. It looks really nice.
Oh, and the cast, too.
Oh, yes, a great cast. Like, Chris Rock, it was his idea to make this movie. This was his idea, and he's great in this. I did not know that Chris Rock could really handle a serious role. And even though he does sprinkle some of his comedy in there,
a little bit. The same thing with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. I did not know that. I don't think I've seen Chris Rock in anything serious before.
We were looking into this. He had 1 or 2, but we'd never seen them.
He plays like this cop that doesn't it's kind of like a cynical type cop that like you really like understand why he's this way and everything, and I really like that. Now, honestly, when I heard we were getting a new Saw movie, I was very upset that it was not a continuation off of Jigsaw, because Jigsaw leaves off on a cliffhanger, and we still haven't gotten the answers to that. And we've already gotten confirmed we're getting a no, that was the ninth one. A 10th Saw movie. Wait, no. Yeah, a 10th Saw movie. And they haven't confirmed if it's a sequel to Jigsaw or if it's a sequel to Spiral. They haven't said anything yet. So I'd be fine with either. But I give us some detail. Come on, Lionsgate. Give us some detail. But the movie, it's one of my, it's definitely probably in my top 12 of the year, probably my favorite horror movie of the year, because
I'd probably agree with that. I didn't see a lot this year. Not that I liked either.
But yeah, I don't remember my review, but right now I will stick with a solid 4 out of 5, I think.
I put it at a 3. It was good. Not amazing.
So far, if we were ranking them out of the movies we talked about, you'd put it at the top so far?
So far, it's the top movie. And this was what, June or July?
This was May.
Oh, dang.
And we got Georgetown, Finding You, I'm gonna skip through a little bit. I know a lot of the Dream Horse, Blast B, A Quiet Place Part 2. You didn't watch this, did you?
No, I didn't. It didn't interest me that much.
I thought it was a great follow-up to the first one. It gave me exactly what I wanted. I was not expecting a sequel, and when even John Krasinski, he even said when he made the first one, there was no plans for a sequel. But obviously, that box office money rolls in, you're gonna freaking make a sequel. And I'm surprised, and it happened so soon too.
Yeah.
This is
what 2019?
I think it was like 2018, 2019, something like that. The movie does feel a little weaker compared to the first one. Oh, let me get my controller so they can see my expressions. It does seem a little weaker compared to the first one because of the lack of John Krasinski actually being in it. He is in the first the first 15 minutes because it's a flashback. It starts off with a flashback. And I do think the movie is executed well, and seeing it in theaters was a very well. I don't think that the theatrical experience is as good for this movie that was the first one, because there's more talking in this one. There is more talking in this movie than there was in the first one. Which isn't a deal breaker for me, but I was worried it'd be too much, and it wasn't too much. But this time, the thing I really like about this movie, like in the first one, they're kind of like hiding the creatures, being like, we want to build them up and everything. And then this movie, they're straight up, you see them. They're not hiding these things anymore. Like, here they are. It's like, this is the way to build, as we'll say about another movie I saw this year, building up a monster like that and showing it off in a good way and be proud of to show your effects on it. That makes me happy, and I really enjoyed it. And I gotta give it a solid 3.5 for this movie. I don't remember what I gave it in my review, but that's where I'm at right now. Why I look for the next one? Why didn't it interest you?
I liked the first one, sure, but it wasn't. It's another, monster flick with kind of a generic-y design. The quietness was interesting, but obviously in the trailers they were doing less of that. And I was perfectly content with the ending of the first one. I didn't see anywhere they really could have gone, and when I heard they didn't really explore the lore, it didn't interest me. It didn't interest me much. I wanted to know more about why
All right. Cruella. Did you see that? I didn't.
No, I think that was Disney Plus, though, wasn't it?
No, it was theatrically released.
They did a theatrical on it. Yeah, it's just a prequel to Cruella. I think that Emma Stone starred in it.
Yeah, it's what I heard from what I heard from reviews about this movie is that like it starts out like she is a villain, like, but then it turns in like the last like 30 minutes it turns into a Maleficent type thing.
I hate that. I don't like that.
But apparently it didn't ruin the movie for some people. I don't know. That's from one review. I don't know much. Because the Nostalgia Critic, he does his Disney December every year. He did that covered that one. So that's what my review. How I know. I don't know.
Making the villains look like actual. Like
well, no, I don't have a problem with that. It's the fact that doesn't work with Cruella. That does not work with Cruella.
She's insane.
Like, I can understand them doing that with Maleficent, but not Cruella.
A little bit.
Like, that makes no sense,
we'll
but...
get a Queen of Hearts movie, we'll probably get a Captain Hook movie, we'll probably get a Jafar movie, I mean...
I would not mind seeing a Captain Hook movie. I would not mind seeing that.
That would be interesting.
There's already theories out there that actually Captain Hook is the good guy. You know that, right? In the...
How would he be the good guy?
Peter Pan takes the kids to kill them. They don't actually never grow up. He kills them.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, it's dark. He's trying to save them.
Yeah, he's actually. All right.
You'll never have to grow up here in Neverland.
Because you'll never leave. Got changing the game. Oh, speaking of which, before I continue, this is movies only. So the of you who want to hear any opinions on Squid Game or anything like that, not gonna get that here.
Did you watch Squid Game yet?
No, I still have not seen Squid Game.
You need to get on that.
All right, Spirit Untamed. I've seen this. I saw this the weekend I went to Comic-Con. And going into it, I had very, very low expectations. Because one, Spirit is like a phenomenal film, very well animated, and it's like you know Spirit, right?
Yeah, it's the Sumerian.
And this movie, it's kind of a reboot of a reboot because from the TV
show.
Well, it's the same characters and stuff, but it's redone, and which is really odd to me. Like, I feel like, why didn't y'all just make this a follow, like a continuation of the TV series if you were just gonna use the same characters? Like, I didn't understand that. And maybe just drop this on Netflix, not release it in theaters. Because at points with the animation for this movie, I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. But then later on, the animation gets a lot better in the movie. It looks a lot better as you keep watching. On a rewatch, it does look a lot better than I thought my first look around. It's not the best. It's definitely not Pixar quality or anything, but the movie is not awful. It's actually not bad at all, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Kids are definitely gonna love it, especially if you got a little girl that loves horses. They're gonna love it. And it was fun. I liked it. People who are saying, "Oh, this ruins my childhood," shut up. Shut up. There's people that I'm sorry, but this does not ruin your childhood. It doesn't tarnish the reputation. It still keeps the spirit of the character of Spirit and everything, and the fact that he is a wild horse and he is not. It's still like, yes,
They did just piggyback off of the popularity of the name, though. It took
Yeah,
on
but
high
it definitely, I don't think it ruins it, and I did enjoy this movie, and I would recommend it, and I would watch it again. I don't think it's great, but I think it's a fun movie, and I enjoyed it.
Would you
So
say it needed to be Spirit though?
for the personality they give Spirit, he matches Spirit from the original.
Matt Damon?
Like he matches the original. Well, he doesn't. There's no inner dialogue like there is in the original, but
Yeah, it's all like narration of what's going on.
Well, obviously with this, Spirit is a main character, but he's not the main character. Obviously, the girl is. I don't remember her name, but the girl is the main character. And it's obviously the movie's not made for me or for grown adults like us. It's not made for us. But obviously, I never use that as an excuse. I try not to. Because like that, just because a movie's made for a certain audience is not an excuse for it to be bad.
Usually is bad though.
This one wasn't.
Try to make a demographic film instead of just an all.
I feel like boys can enjoy this. I feel like girls can enjoy this. I feel like I don't think a lot of adults are gonna enjoy it, but I had fun with it.
Okay.
Nothing great, but it was fun. All right, what we got? The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Did you watch that?
No, I only watched the first couple of Conjurings, and I was definitely not interested in anything after they got rid of the original cast.
Gully, Flashback, Under the Standing Lights, Grace and the Girl, Await, In the Heights. I have not seen In the Heights, but I do have it on Blu-ray. It's based on a musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda, the same guy that did Hamilton. And I've heard it's really great. I just haven't watched it. I want to, and I will. I own it on Blu-ray. One second. Oh, one sec, lag. Okay. I've been told as a theater fan I'm doing myself a disservice by not having watched the film. Or well, not the film, just not being familiar with that musical at all.
In the Heights.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with it. I just know it's from the same people that did Hamilton. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, he's very talented.
It is a little narcissistic though, creating a play and then casting yourself as the lead. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait a second.
But I mean, he has done. I mean, the Mary Poppins reboot sequel type thing.
Wait, he did that?
He did the music for that.
He did? I did not know that. Maybe I should give that a watch. I haven't seen it. Maybe I should give it a watch then.
You haven't? He's in the movie too. He's the chimney.
I definitely need to give that movie a watch then. Okay, so after In the Heights, Infinite, don't know what that is. Peter Rabbit 2, did you see that? With James Corden?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of James Corden.
I didn't even see the first one. Wish Dragon, the other Sony animation film that got released, which I really wish I would have watched, but I haven't seen yet. The Misfits, which I've heard is bad. 12 Mighty Orphans, don't know what that is. The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. Okay, before we I have not seen this movie. I've seen the first one though. Wait, let me get my controllers. Past VTR. What the heck? No, it's a parody movie.
Meet the Blacks.
Past VTR. Why the heck did you think that first movie was good? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did see the second one though. Didn't go here was not like. I liked the first one.
I did like the first one when I saw it for some reason.
Oh, I didn't see the second one.
Cause I rewatched the first one and realized it's a garbage freaking parody movie. Remember, George
Parody?
Lopez is in it. They're parodying The Purge.
Oh.
Which is a franchise I quite likely enjoy. It doesn't bother me that they're parodying it. Because if you're going to parody something, do it in an interesting way.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's in the vein of Scary Movie.
Oh, okay.
Queen Bees, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Did you see that?
I honestly don't remember. I think I saw the first one twice.
Oh, so you haven't seen the second one?
Watch the second one. Ron Reynolds, Samuel Jackson.
All right, here we go. One that we've both seen right here. Luca.
Luca, yeah. We watched that on Disney Plus.
We watched it as a group with me, you, Jazzy, and I think one other person, I think. I don't remember who that third was, but...
It was...
Before we get into actually talking about the movie, we're not going to get into the whole... how the movie's been interpreted online. We're not going to get into that whole controversy. We're just going to talk about the movie and what we thought of it.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into all that.
It wasn't. It wasn't a runaway.
I will say this. Interpret the movie however you want. I don't care. Just don't force it down other people how the movie was represented. Just don't. If you want to interpret the movie a certain way, that's you. Do it. But don't, like, if someone else interprets it a different way, don't jump on them or anything. That's all I'm going to say.
Did they canonize that?
No.
Okay. It wasn't much to write home about.
I liked it a lot because of the simple story. I liked that it wasn't something grand because, one, their last movie, Soul, I loved Soul. Like, it was
good.
There's
more to take away from Soul, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was hard, coming up after Soul. That was hard to follow up on, is what I'm saying. And
I'm getting a little tired of the huge emphasis on human characters, though.
Well, it seems like with their next movie, even though that is a human character, they're going a little.
It kind of reminds you of another Pixar movie, though. I know it reminds me of one.
What, the upcoming movie? Which one?
Brave.
No, it doesn't actually remind me of Brave. I never even thought about that.
The bear turning into a bear?
Yeah, but it's different. It's very different, the way it's handled from what I've seen from the trailers for Turning Red. We'll talk about that movie when it comes out. But yeah,
Luca, it was good. Not fantastic. Pixar's done better.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd watch it again anytime soon.
I don't think it's a big bummer that they didn't put this in theaters, because it was such a smaller story.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is really weird to know that a Pixar movie went straight to streaming. That felt really weird.
What was the same Soul?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. I forgot. I would have loved to have seen Soul on the big screen. But this movie was great. I love the animation. The character designs are different from what Pixar normally does with their human characters.
Yeah, it was a little more cartoony.
They gave me an Aardman vibe.
Never really thought about it like that.
And their next one, Turning Red, gives me even more Armin vibes.
I don't know. Did you see the what is it? The Mao short or the Bao short? You know, the one with the little egg roll thing. Reminds me a lot of the animation in that. Pow, I think it was.
The one that they showed before Incredibles 2?
Was it Incredibles 2 or was it Big Hero 6? No, the dumpling. But
yeah, that was before Incredibles 2. That wasn't before Incredibles 2.
Reminded me a little bit of that.
Yeah, really
characters.
I give the movie a solid 3.5 out of 5, I think, is where I'll put it.
I would put it at a 3. I thought it was about as good as Spiral.
So right now, Spiral and Luca are tied from what we've gone through so far.
They were both good, not amazing, not like super jazzed about them, but I thought they were good in the instance that I saw.
Birthday Cake, The Sparks Brothers, Stalker, Good on Paper, Crime Bayou, Furious 9. You see that? I didn't.
Not a Furious guy.
Me neither. But eventually, I feel like I'll have to review them on the channel eventually. So, not looking forward to the day I have to do that. 9 of them. Well,
1 or 2 spin-offs.
Well, there's 10 with counting the spin-off.
I forget what that was called.
Hobbs and Shaw. The Ice Road, Werewolves Within, Festival of Positive, I Carry You With Me, Mary J, Binge in My Life, Fathom. Okay, gosh. The movies I've seen. No Sudden Move, The Tomorrow War, which is a Prime movie. I had Chris Pratt in it. I should have watched that, but I didn't. Here's another one I watched. Boss Baby Family Business. I know you didn't watch it.
No. Me and everybody else.
I did not like the first one. Even though in my review I said I did. I don't like
the first Boss Baby.
I don't know. It just didn't age. On rewatch, it just didn't sit well with me. I guess the first time I watched it, I liked it. But on rewatch, it just didn't sit well with me. The second one, though,
baby. Alec Baldwin.
Stop. You can't say that. But back to what I was saying. The second one, though, I thought was much better. It was funnier. I thought the characters had a lot more depth to them. And legit, there's a whole song number that happens in the movie what they say in that song. I don't want to give it away because I think some people should go see that themselves. If just for that song, maybe go find the clip on YouTube or something if you don't want to watch the whole movie. But that part is very funny. But the movie has a lot more heart to it than I think the first one did. Because, my main problem with the first one was, is this all in the kid's head or is it actually happening? This movie straight up answers that. It actually happened. But one major complaint that this movie got was the fact, because the whole reason this movie was made because the Netflix show did so well. That's why this movie got made. But they didn't they didn't focus on any of the characters from that show. Apparently, I heard. So that's when a lot of people were mad about it. So, but frankly, from what I saw from the TV show was awful. I hated it because my nephew would watch it and I would just be sitting in the living room with him and I had to watch it with him. I would not have watched that on my own.
Guess your nephew was the boss baby, huh?
I guess so. All right, the Forever Purge. I haven't even recorded my review for this yet. I liked this movie. I almost said loved. Me, I have a soft spot for the Purge movies. Like I always have. I've seen all 5 of them, and this one is definitely one of the stronger ones. The Purge people keep purging even after the Purge is over, which is a very interesting concept. And the fact that one big problem with this movie is people go to see these movies, they don't care about the politics. They don't care about the politics. They want to see people causing mayhem and killing people. That's what people want to see. Me personally, I used to be that way, but after I rewatched the first Purge, not the first Purge movie, The First Purge, I'm interested in the politics of this world, much more than the politics of our real world. But it's very interesting, this film, the way it worked, and the characters. Gosh, when someone dies, you feel it. No, I wanted those two to be happy. And you see some and the fact that you're following a Hispanic family, and obviously this white family as well, you see a lot of just scumbag people they run into. You see some neo-Nazis in the movie. You see, I don't remember if you saw. Did you see any KKK members? I know in the last one there were KKK members. You see some despicable people in this movie, and you're like, dude, can I just? Oh my gosh, it gets to an uncomfortable level at points, but I say I'll give it a solid 3 out of 5 with that movie. What we got next? Another one I have seen. Fear Street Part 1. I have not seen the other 2 yet. I've only seen the first one. I did not understand the hype around this from just the first movie, because the main characters is so unlikable. So the characters, she's her and her girlfriend, the main couple of the movie, they're insufferable. I don't care if your relationship works out. You both are insufferable. They were not an enjoyable couple to watch. I don't care if your relationship, and that really boggled down the movie because it was a big plot point. Their relationship was and I have no problem with the relationship being a very important part of a horror movie. I have no problem with that if it's done well. This is not done well. I'm watching this movie, I'm like, do we have to follow? And there's another character in the movie, her brother, the main character's brother, and a girl that he likes. I'm more interested in that than the one they're making us care about. And I can't even talk about, there's some decent kills, but the movie's just overshadowed by that. The movie is overshadowed by how bland and unlikable the main the love story is, and it ruins the rest of the movie for me. It's just. So
you're gonna watch the other? You're gonna watch part 2 and part 3?
I am going to watch them, but let's just move on before I get mad. 2 out of 5. Summer Review, Till Death, Black Widow, one I have seen as well. But I need to tell a story real quick before we actually talk about this movie. I already told you this story. I told you about it, I think it was yesterday. So in the opening of the movie, it's set way before 2010. Black Widow's little sister in the movie is holding a My Little Pony plushie. That plushie is from 2000, probably even after 2010, but it's from Friendship is Magic, and the scene that it's in is before Friendship is Magic would not have even existed at the time. You would think that the prop masters, what they call them, would freaking be able to get their stuff right. And I know average moviegoers aren't going to notice that, but me being a brony and knowing that stuff, it just bothered me. And like, that's the main thing I remember about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, the movie's not bad. It's getting way too much rap as the worst MCU movies. It came out way too late. This should have came out like a good 3 or 4 years ago.
To be fair, though, there's not a lot of bad MCU movies.
Then the thing. A lot of people say Eternals is the worst. Is worse than this. This is worse.
I would put movies.
I think Black Widow. I think Black Widow is worse than Eternals.
I have a hard time believing anything could be worse than Iron Man 2 and 3 and Thor 2 Dark World. Those movies were not good.
I have not seen 2 of Iron Man or Dark World of Thor.
But they're not good. And people might just have recency bias.
And so I still give it about a 3.5 out of 5. Fear Street, Part 2. Didn't see it yet. Summer thing. Space Jam: A New Legacy. We both seen this, right? You've seen it.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Oh, right. I'm gonna let Sam take the lead on this one.
Well, it was just kind of LeBron James being LeBron James, and it was, I felt like it was a little out of character for the Looney Tunes to split up, honestly. And a lot of video game stuff. Not even a cameo by Michael Jordan. He wouldn't do it, so we got Michael B. Jordan, which, despite not getting the cameo, was really funny. I laughed very much at that. But the whole UI thing and his son, it wasn't an interesting plot. I get it's Space Jam, but I don't know how you make a basketball game with toon characters not fun.
Oh, I'm gonna
have fun with it.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I
will give it 1 point though. I did love when they were going through the different universes. That was a lot of fun. That was cool.
I do think this is a bad movie. I do think it is. But I think it's a fun movie. It's a bad movie that I don't hate. I had a lot of fun seeing this in theaters. And the stuff that was cringe, like Big Chungus and stuff like that, it was cringe.
That was great.
It was cringe in a fun way. It was cringe in a fun way. I don't know what I would rate this at this moment, but I have to give it at least a 2.5, just for how much, or 3. 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. Just because it is a bad movie. It is a bad movie. I will say it's bad, but I had fun. I think the CG on the Looney Tunes, when they turned into CG, looks really good. I think it looks really nice.
But why did we need that?
Kids nowadays aren't big on 2D animation.
That's true, but it's still the Looney Tunes.
And also, when you say that's out of character for the Looney Tunes, that is not out of character. They've been bribed and pushed. Maybe, but like, imagine like you get said like, Matt, you can go visit all these other worlds that are so interesting. What would you do? Would you stay there? Or would you go visit all those worlds?
What was the reasoning behind? Weren't they kicked out or something?
No.
Sold out.
No, Algae Rhythm. freaking convinced them to freaking there was so much more to see in the serververse, and they were like, oh yeah, let's go and let's go see all that stuff. But I will agree with Sam, the whole video game aspect is really weird. But at the same time, it wasn't too bothersome to me because I did like the fact that they were fighting against, the basketball was against these weird versions of real life basketball players. I kind of liked that. It was very interesting. And I would have hated it if they actually would have brought the Monstars back. I would have hated that. If it was like them going up against them again, I would have hated it.
You can't just rehash it. Man,
even though
I'd give it a 2.
There's one of the main concerns that I've heard about this movie though is that LeBron James a few years before this movie was in a different movie, and his acting in that was great. They're wondering
he kind of just phoned it in.
What the heck happened?
Paycheck.
It was a fun movie. It's a bad movie, but it's fun.
And he wasn't. The movie was originally supposed to star Kobe Bryant.
Really? No. Oh, he turned it down. Okay. When it was announced.
Wanted Kobe.
But when they announced it, it was all LeBron James. When they announced it.
When they officially got it greenlit, yeah, but it was intended for it to be Kobe in that role.
Huh.
I don't know if they had a script written yet, though.
Well, there was a whole bunch of different ideas coming around with that movie, which I think the original script that they were planning on doing would have been a much better idea. It would have been freaking what's the actor's name that plays Al G with him again?
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Don Cheadle still would have been the villain, and he would have been like kind of the executive of Warner Brothers, and he would have been like, the whole thing was he wanted to reboot Space Jam, and the Looney Tunes were going to be like, no, we're not doing that. And
the meta.
And then they were like, all right, we challenge you to a basketball game, and if we win, we remake it. If you win, we don't. And the other team was going to be built up of other Warner Brothers characters.
That does sound a lot more fun.
I would, and obviously, I don't know how, and that would bring in like Bugs and all them would be like, we got to get us a basketball player to help us.
Yeah, let's get LeBron James.
I don't know, there'd be like a joke where he goes like, we can get Michael Jordan again, and they'd be like, no, he's too old, or make some kind of joke or something.
We can't afford him.
And they go like, who are some other basketball players? There could be a whole joke of them listing out basketball players until they settle on freaking. That would have been much better, I think. I feel like that could have been more fun, and you still could have had the scene of them going through different Warner Brothers movies and stuff.
I don't know how that would have worked though.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting. No, maybe it wouldn't be the Looney Tunes going through it. It'd probably be the villain going to get all which would be interesting, but there's no telling. I mean, he'd probably manipulate the other team. Probably.
Oh, and in the last basketball scene, there was some terrible Vegas Strip looking Warner Brothers characters in the back, like Pennywise.
But they were giving it their all though. Those extras were giving it their all, especially the dude that's playing Mr. Freeze. That dude was giving it. He had a whole giant look on his face the whole time. All right, we're spending too much time on Space Jam. Let's move on.
Good.
Okay. Okay. Another movie. I think I saw the same day actually. Escape Room 2. It was bad. Moving on. Legit, that's all I can say. It was bad. It legit just it just has a car. It's just bad. I'm not even gonna go anything else. It was bad. Probably one of the worst I've seen of the year. Not the worst, but okay. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. No, we're gonna move on. 1 out of 5. No, 2 out of 5. I'll give it 2. Troll Hunters: Rise of the Titans, which is based off the shows Troll Hunters, Three Below, and Wizards from Netflix. It's the DreamWorks. This is kind of the ending to that whole series, and my gosh, if you were a fan of these shows, this movie was a great send-off. Wasn't a big fan of the ending, but I'm really glad this didn't get a theatrical release because it is the previous shows are required to watch this movie. This is not like, oh, I'm gonna pop this on and never seen the show before. No, this is required viewing. Like, you have to watch those shows to watch this movie.
Oh, for the fans. I like when they do that. I like when they do that.
Solid 3 out of 5.
It was like with, we'll get to that when we get to it. A certain web thing.
Snake Eyes, did you see that?
Nah, not a big G.I.
Old. Did you see that?
No. You were telling me about it, though. I'm guessing you didn't end up seeing it, though.
No, I didn't. I do want to give it a watch. I heard it was bad. Jungle Cruise, did you see that?
Skipped.
Vivo, which was the other one that the Sony animation movie, and Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music for that as well, and he plays the main character. The Green Knight, did you see that?
Talented. The Green Knight, no.
Yeah, I had no interest in
Heard about it. Not big into the night culture.
The Evening Hour. The Suicide Squad. Did you see this?
I saw the Weasel in the first 5 minutes, and then I kind of did out. I heard he died, which is disappointing.
Yeah, it was really late, though, when we watched that, so...
Mm-hmm.
I straight up loved the Suicide Squad. I had so much fun. Me being a horror fan and being a gore hound, like I love gore in horror movies. The gore in this movie and the stuff like that is... Okay, when I gore, it makes it sound like it's like cutting people open and ripping their guts out. It's not like that, but like it's nice. Like it's nice kills. I like it. It looks really nice. And obviously... I like that this movie doesn't try to rely on Harley Quinn. I know she's become very popular with the DC movies, but I'm so glad she's not like a big focus. Like, she gets her own little side plot and everything, but like, she's not like... Your focus is mostly on Bloodsport and Ratcatcher, which originally Will Smith was supposed to come back for this, but he was filming something else at the time, which I'm gonna assume it was probably King Richard. He was filming. That's probably what he was filming.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
But this movie was really good. Solid 4 out of 5. Reason why I'm going through, while I'm going through these ones that only I've seen, I'm going through them fast because the ones that we both seen we can talk about more. And we can bounce off each other. Okay, so after that, Naked Singularity. John and the Hole, Playing God, Swan Song, She-Ball, Kissing Booth 3.
Yeah, let's see that.
Weakest one of the... I actually do like the first two. I really did like the first two, surprisingly. This one is much weaker. 2.5 out of 5. Free Guy, you can partially talk about this.
I only saw the first 45 minutes. They were just jam-packed with video game references, which is cool, but it just wasn't funny for what I was watching. I kept waiting for the comedy and comedy and comedy.
The thing that I kept
and
telling
I wasn't
him,
laughing.
thing I told him though, it's literally the second half of the movie is the funniest parts.
That's where the funny is. First part just... I gave it a shot. Maybe
You'd eventually
I'll try
finish
to watch
it.
it again at some point. Yeah, I will.
I liked it.
I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan. I like Ryan Reynolds.
I love Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's like one of my favorite actors. And after seeing him in this and Deadpool, and there was something else that he was in that I really liked him in. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, The Croods.
Oh yeah, he was the
Guy. He's played two characters named Guy. He has played two characters named Guy.
guy and guy.
Free Guy, I will give a solid 3.5 out of 5. Oh, and that reference at the end, that was really funny with a certain actor whose name is Chris. Very good reference. I liked that. That was funny. I don't want to say because I think you'd want to see that for yourself. Because it was funny. Okay, Free Guy, done. Respect, don't know what that is. Don't Breathe, Coda. The Paw Patrol movie. Oh.
Number 1 of 2021 for you.
Okay, here's the thing. Like I said, I've seen movies that are made for kids that are based off kids shows, and are good and still hold up today that I enjoy. Thomas and the Magic Railway, Elmo Adventures in Grouchland, Barney's Grand Adventure. I can watch those and still enjoy them. This,
really?
I don't feel like there's anything for adults here. Like, this is like legit. It's the animation is nice. The animation looks really nice. The main character looks like Donald Trump if he was the Monopoly Man. But not the main character.
Fair, though,
the villain. The villain.
The 3 shows you did mention were multi-generational by the time those movies came out. Paw Patrol is only, 10 years old?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I've seen a couple episodes of the cartoon because my little brother loved this crap. And I feel like there's a lot more heart and a lot more enjoyability of the TV show than there is of this movie. I guess maybe it's just the fact that it doesn't, like, there's not enough to fit into a theatrical film, you know?
Yeah. Those other movies, as going back, those were all original plots that had barely anything to the TV show.
Yeah.
Especially Thomas the Train.
And they were live action.
That's true. Yeah, well, hybrid.
They were all live action.
Depends how you look at, Thomas the Tank Engine was,
It's technically live action. It's not even stop motion. They just film trains.
One of them was puppets, though.
Yeah. But
they're all kind of in their own
it's also,
category.
there are some kids movies that I will be harsh on, but like this one, how can I be harsh to this? Like, it's the Paw Patrol movie.
Yeah, but like the Teen Titans Go movie was
really good. That was really good. But also, Teen Titans Go wasn't a preschool show.
Yeah, but it's infamous for being a steaming pile of crap.
Yeah, I guess this is... I don't know what to really say about this movie. I can't even give it a rating at this moment in time. I'd have to watch it a second time.
What'd your niece and nephew think about it?
Oh, they enjoyed it. They had fun. They.
I just ate it.
Mm-hmm. And I bought my other nephew that for Christmas as a Christmas present, the DVD. And I hope he likes it.
Well, target audience appeased.
It's fine. That's all I can say is it's fine.
Just not a lot there for anybody.
I guess it was fine enough to where I freaking... I bought it on Blu-ray. It's in my collection.
Unbelievable.
I don't know why, but I did.
Now you can rewatch as many times as you'd like.
Well, I mostly did it because, like, if my niece and nephew are over for a thing.
That's, yeah.
And if I'm going to buy it, I might as well buy it on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next movie. Hopefully something Samus... Nope. The Loud House movie. A Nickelodeon movie that...
You saw a lot of movies based on TV shows this year.
Yes, I did. This movie I actually did enjoy because I am a Loud House fan. I do like that cartoon. A lot of people had a lot of problems with this movie and felt like the story was too grand for something like The Loud House, with it being such a simple show that's pretty grounded in reality. But it was fun. The musical numbers were fun. And the villain was dumb, but besides that, I had fun. I even think David Tennant was in this movie. Yeah, David Tennant was in this movie.
What a weird cameo.
Well, and the thing is, he plays a Scottish character, so it's the second time he's played a Scottish character, because he also voiced Scrooge in the new DuckTales.
He is Scottish. You know that,
oh,
right?
He is?
Yeah.
I thought he was British.
No, I know he's not full-on British.
I just know because he was in Doctor Who. They only really cast British actors to play the Doctor. Let's see what we got next. The Night House, Flag Day, Crypt Zoo, Habit, Domestic, Risen, the Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. Is that based on the Witcher, like the games and novels?
I know they did a TV show. I didn't know
This is an animated movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a spin-off of the TV series. Candyman, didn't watch it because I don't even remember anything from the old ones.
We're going to.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Never got the build up on it.
Vacation Friends, don't know what that is. Rushed. Oh, yeah, another movie we can both talk about. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Getting caught up with, getting closer to the end.
Yep.
All right,
this one was
fun.
what, September? Oh.
I thought you were saying that's. This was September. You're right.
I did enjoy the combat in this movie.
It's
been a while since we.
It's a much more. Even though there is some comedy in it, I feel like this is a much more serious MCU film. There's barely any jokes.
The comedy I did enjoy was with Ben Kingsley, because he did the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, and I thought that was like really funny that they brought him back after such a long time.
Well, this movie they actually rectified the Mandarin, the actual Mandarin in the other movie, which wound up being that weird ginger guy with the fire powers in Iron Man 3. And then technically the new guy, the villain in this one, is technically the Mandarin. The actual Mandarin.
But they don't call him that. They call him like, I forget what do they call him?
I don't know. But the thing is, this is definitely
being called the Mandarin though.
This is Oh, wait, I'm lagging. Wait, okay. Wait, give me a second. Give me a sec. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, give me a second. All right, there we go. Wait, nope. I'm still lagging. All right, that's the best we're gonna get. This is a family movie, but not in the fact like it's for the family. No. What I'm saying, not the fact that it's for the family. It's about family.
Yeah.
And Shang-Chi is a good character. I really like him.
I think he's that interesting as far as superheroes go.
He does need a little more development. He does need more development. I do agree with that. But the fights in the dude, I saw this movie in 3D. It's the first. It's
I bet
the first.
The ending fight was great.
It's the first 3D movie I've seen in a long time, and I've seen some 3D movies that weren't mostly not really intended for 3D, and it's like, wow, this 3D for this movie sucks. The 3D in this movie, phenomenal. Watching this movie in 3D looked so good. Like, it's probably the best 3D movie I've ever seen. Keep that in mind. I haven't seen Avatar. I didn't see Avatar in theaters, and I didn't see How to Train Your Dragon in the original How to Train Your Dragon in theaters. Those are two of the movies that are normally held as like the best for 3D.
I didn't, yeah.
But this movie was so good in 3D. The fight scenes were like the fight scenes of the last with him and his dad with the rings. I liked that. That looked really nice. And then some of the normal fighting in this movie was really nice. Like, it was really well choreographed, and I enjoyed the heck out of a lot of this. Out of the fighting.
It was definitely a welcome change of pace. It's not something we've seen from the MCU. A lot with the mystical stuff. I loved, the fight with the dragon and the big interdimensional world eater and the soul suckers. It was cool.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I would give it a solid 4 out of 5.
We've been going into the whimsy lately when it comes to the movies, so I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I would give it pretty high too. I'd give it like a 3.5.
All right. Next movie we got here on the list is that Cinderella movie that came out on Amazon Prime. Didn't watch it. Worth, The Gateway, Wild Indian, We Need to Do Something. Kate, didn't you say Kate watched that?
I actually watched Kate. She watched it, and then I watched it again with her. It was an action movie. The writing was kind of weak, but there was a lot of cool fighting sequences. It was very much your basic action movie. With a fun twist. There were some cool tropes in it, like throughout the whole movie, she really wants this lemon drink. But it was a fun movie. I'd give it probably a 2.5, maybe a 3.
The only reason they watched it is because his girlfriend's name is Kate.
She really liked it, though. She really liked it.
That's why she watched it, though.
That's why she originally watched it. We recommend Kate for you, Kate.
Everyone. Oh, I've been needing to watch this myself, but I haven't. It's based on a true story, which the true story was turned into a Broadway musical, and now that Broadway musical has been. Well, I don't know. Well, has been brought to a movie. I don't think it's a stage musical. It hasn't. It was because this was a musical that was done in the UK. It's called Everybody's Talking About Jamie, and I've heard it's a really good musical. I heard it's a really good musical. It's about this guy who wants to be a drag queen. And Obviously, he goes through trials and tribulations to get to his goal and everything. But that's all I know about it. I heard the music is great. I heard the movie is great, but I wouldn't know. I haven't seen the musical or the movie. I do want to give it a watch though.
Very interesting plot. Seems like
Okay.
it would be kind of shallow though, because it's not a lot of meat there.
Well, like I said, I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to describe it because I know nothing about the. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard any of the songs. I don't know.
It is a musical though. I mean,
something I
it's
probably
usually very straight to the point.
I probably would enjoy it. I probably would. I need to give it a watch. I probably would enjoy it. Malignant. I didn't see that. Queen Pins. The Carol Counter. Come away. Language. Show me the father. I didn't even know about some of this stuff. Dating in New York. Bad Candy, My Son, Night Books, The Starling, The Eye of Tammy Faye, Cop's Shop, Blue, I can't even talk. Prisoners of Ghostland, bestsellers, Lady,
Today, Junior.
Okay, here we go. A movie I have seen. My Little Pony: A New Generation. I have not even reviewed this on my channel yet. You think I would have done this by now being a brony?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard you talk about it quite a bit, though.
Literally, here's the thing. The movie, My Little Pony movie that came out in 2017, I reviewed that the day after I saw it. That tells you how long it took to get me to... Okay, so this movie is the start of My Little Pony Generation 5, which is also technically a sequel to Generation 4, which a lot of people think they should have just left Generation 4 out of it. But me personally, I kind of like the connection. First things first, the animation for this movie looks really good, and this movie was originally planned for theaters, and I hate that it didn't get a theatrical release. I would have loved to have seen this in theaters. The songs are really nice. I really enjoyed the music in this. It makes me, the voice cast was great. For Pete's sake, James Marsden is in this. Like, what is James Pony movie? Like,
James Marsden, what is that so familiar?
Sonic, the cop in Sonic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that guy, you never know when that guy is gonna show up.
Another thing about the movie that I just really, the voice acting, like I'm wondering what the actual show. Are they gonna get the same voice actors? Because these are some expensive people to get. So like, I'm very curious. Are y'all gonna get sound alikes for the actual movie? I mean, the actual show or anything like that. But I'm here to talk about the movie, not the show. The villain is weak, but also fun. He's a fun villain. The basic premise of the movie and lesson, because My Little Pony ever since Generation 4 has always had to have a lesson now, which isn't a bad thing. The whole lesson of the movie is racist bad. That's literally the message of the movie. Racist bad. Yes, we get it. Racist is bad. But no, in all seriousness, it's a fun movie. Being a brony, I think I watched it with some people that aren't even bronies, and they actually enjoyed it as well. So knowing that that people that aren't even bronies can enjoy this film, so and I have to give it a solid 4 out of 5. But that's coming from a brony bias standpoint. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be pretty positive towards the My Little Pony film.
Yeah. Understandable.
All right. You watched this with me because I've seen it. Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes, I did watch that. It was an adaptation of a musical with a guy who looks 30 that's playing a teenager. The songs were not as good as the Broadway counterparts.
Agreed. I'll agree there.
And they did put in some more story, so was it necessary? I guess for a movie.
There's an original song.
Songs I liked. They did add, yeah, but they also cut.
But also, some of them, it's understandable because, like, some of them would not work in a film format.
It was not the best Broadway to silver screen I've seen, but it wasn't bad. He may have looked too old to be a high schooler, but he is Evan Hansen.
Well, currently on Broadway, he's not the one playing him.
Yeah, but all the
it is a younger guy who plays him now. I forgot his name. He's I don't want to be. He's a person of a darker complexion. I don't know, like, if he's. I don't want to miss race someone by accident. So I'm just trying to be. But he's a darker complexion, but he fits the age range. Or at least he looks like he fits the age range better than Ben Platt does. But this movie, though, yes, I do agree that the main problem with the movie is the fact that Ben Platt is way too old to be this movie, to play this character. Even though the whole reason the movie was made was to encapsulate his performance as Evan Hansen. And his dad was the producer. Which a lot of people think this movie probably killed Ben Platt's career, probably, because it was supposed to jumpstart his career. But a lot of people think it probably killed his career. But I hope that's not true there's some very talented people in this movie, very talented actors. But here's one thing you can very much tell that all the rest of the people in the movie are film actors, and you can tell Ben Platt is a theater actor. That, I know it sounds weird, but that is different. They are two different things. Being a stage actor and a movie actor is different.
Would you say he wasn't able to make the transition?
Oh no. Oh no, I feel like he had the emotion of the character of his characters done so well, and I imagine it had been really weird doing this role again, but for a film, it had to have felt really weird doing it in this format. I feel like it had to have felt very different than doing it on a stage. Very, very strange. And the thing is, he does not look awful. I don't think it looks as bad as everyone made it out to be. Yes, it's noticeable that he is not a 17-year-old teenager. It is very obvious that he isn't. But at the same time, you just got to turn off your brain right there and get into some disbelief. Which, for Pete's sake, Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man, in the original Spider-Man movie, didn't look like he was in high school, but we can pretend he is.
Wasn't he in college?
Not in the first one.
Mm.
He does graduate in the middle of the movie.
Though.
He graduates in the middle of the movie.
He was about to go to high school. He was in a college field trip.
Well,
to a college.
Evan Hansen's also in his senior year.
Yeah,
so,
but I don't know. Tobey Maguire was like 27, between 24 and 27.
Ben Platt was 27 when he filmed this movie.
That wasn't the biggest issue with it, though.
I enjoyed the movie. I do. Technically, the songs you liked weren't technically cut out. They're played in the background with instruments at one point.
Yeah, sweeping instrumental. Some of them, could have worked, too.
Well, like, Anybody Have a Map would not have worked in a film format.
Yeah, but what was that other one?
To Break It a Glove?
No, the other one.
Good For You?
Yeah, that one.
That song is very important to the story too, so it's very weird they cut that one out. And one complaint that I've seen a lot of people say, the movie makes it notice that how creepy and messed up the story is when it's put to film because you're right up on it. No, it's creepy regardless in the film, the musical, or the novel. It's creepy regardless. It doesn't matter if it's in the film.
I don't know if creepy's the right word. Just being a bad person. He's being a bad person.
But it's like I feel like he does learn his. Yes, I can get how people's like he doesn't really in the musical. Like he legit does get called out on his bull crap, and but in the movie, like he gets called out on it, but it's like not as prominent. It feels like.
There is some endearing make to it that, even though he screwed up, his mom she's always going to be there for him.
Well, that was in the movie and the musical. That was.
I know.
And the fact that one thing I do like that in the movie they did add is that after he gets found out, he does actually try his best to learn about Connor. I do like that. He does try to actually ask people about people who did know him and get to know him, even though he's passed on. He still tries to get to know him in the way he could and try to right his wrong, even though he did lose everything that he lost his girlfriend. He lost his.
Yeah, but he got that through that.
I think it's a good movie. Not a great, but I do think it's good, and I enjoyed it, and I will give it a solid 3 out of 5.
I'd give it a 2. I enjoyed it, but I'd rather watch if it were produced a actual height of Evan Hansen starring the Purge cast.
All right, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I think was your first time back to the movies, wasn't it?
That was, yeah.
So, since it was your first thing back to the movies, let's let you go first.
Well, it was nice to be back. I definitely missed going to the movies, and we had watched Venom the previous night.
Because I've never seen it.
So I had to go see it. But it kind of fell flat in some regards. I would have liked to have seen an R rating and Carnage being able to be Carnage. We got 2 kills from him, and one of them was off screen when he steps on the convenience store worker's head. He's just not you wouldn't be able to tell he's a. Woody Harrelson's a good actor, but they couldn't save his casting just because he needed to be able to show it. Tom Hardy was Venom. I think he plays a good Venom. No complaints there. Plot was a little rushed and kind of off kilter, but the first from the same thing. What do you think about
one thing I will say, this movie does not know how to slow down. This movie, it's rapid. This movie's rapid. It's it doesn't give you time to breathe. Carnage breaks out of being, and the next thing you know, you jump to another thing, and I'm like, oh, you didn't even give me a chance to take that in. What the heck? You didn't even give me a chance to take what just happened in. Oh, now Carnage and Venom are fighting. Okay. Well, okay. The movie's over.
Time, I think. They didn't have enough time. It was a lot of just cutting back and forth from Venom and Carnage. Carnage is on the road. He's going to save his girl. There were some cool fight scenes. The thing in Church was cool.
But it is a weak movie, I do think.
It could have been better. It could have been way better.
It had a good post-credit scene until it was rectified in another movie.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I can't imagine that was the plan.
We'll talk more. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about that when we get to that movie.
Okay. So I would give this a little higher than I'd give it a 2.5.
I agree. I'll put you right there, right down the middle.
It was nice to be back into the theaters, though. Actually, no. My first movie was Halloween Kills.
This Halloween Kills isn't out yet.
Did this? Oh, this came out first.
Let the Big Carnage was first.
Pretty cool.
Addams Family 2. Didn't see it. Heard it was bad.
They're making a third one.
They're making a third one?
Aren't they? I'm pretty sure they are.
I don't know. Did the second one do well enough for them to make another one?
You'd think the first one didn't do well enough, but it did. It wasn't well received, but it made money.
First one was my most anticipated movie of that year.
Really?
Yeah, and then it just No Time to Die. Did you see that? I didn't.
James Bond? Nah, it's been a while since I've seen any of those.
Did you see Justin Bieber, Our World? Did you see that?
I didn't. Wow, he had another. Was it a concert movie?
Probably. All right, another movie we can both talk about. Halloween. Most of the movies now we've both seen. Most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Kills. Dang, that was a good trailer for Halloween Ends.
I saw some interesting things said about it, and I agreed with most of it. When I watched that, I thought it was good, but for maybe the wrong reasons. I like the kills a lot, but the whole Evil Dies Tonight was really stupid. It was stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I think it's stupid that it happened in this movie.
Well, the thing is, it's the same night, right, as the last one, but why does it rule these people's lives so much? In the previous sequels, it's like, oh, the sheriff moved away. These people, those people, they moved away. They don't give it.
Yeah,
how many people died in the first one? 3 people?
Like 3 or 4, something like that.
See, that's not much in comparison then. Because
it's like it retconned every other movie up to that point.
The fact that a entire town would go on a witch hunt over somebody who only killed 3 people in 1978, compared to the things that happen today, ridiculous.
Well, they didn't even know that he did the stuff that he did that night until much later.
Yeah.
But I will not say this was a bad movie. I will not say it was bad.
It's not the worst Halloween, not the best Halloween. It was good. There was a lot of problems with it. The kills were the funnest part. So much fun watching that.
It's a filler movie. It's to fill the part between the first one in this trilogy and the last one, which a lot of people think they said maybe they should have just stuck with doing 2 movies, but we'll just have to see what Halloween ends. I don't hate that. But I think they shouldn't.
Laurie Strode.
I do think she needed to be on the sideline for this. And I also think that Laurie might die in the next movie. I do think she will. I do think Laurie will die in the next movie.
Major spoilers, they killed basically every character at the end.
Oh, yeah, literally her boyfriend,
her mom, all the people that were with them.
Oh yeah, the people we brought back from the first movie was like the original movie. Like, they're all dead. They're all dead now. Tommy Doyle, he's dead.
He's dead.
He died
Another problem I
during
had-
a freaking awesome segment, though. He died during an awesome segment of the movie, though.
There was a problem, a continuity problem, kind of a plot hole. You know how the sheriff dies in the first one, he gets ran over by a car and he gets stabbed.
I don't know. It's
You had to dip out right before that scene to
Yeah.
go see it.
yeah, I know.
It
He was
It-
beat up pretty bad, though, from what you saw in the hospital, though. He
got
was.
ran over by a car with both
That-
wheels. It was do.
It is possible to survive that.
And being stabbed. It was an SUV.
It was a cop car. It was not an SUV. It was a cop car.
Was it a Crown Vic? I thought
It was
might
a
have been like a
It's just a normal
SD
cop car.
car.
It's just a normal cop car.
Still being ran over by a car.
And
even
I
watch that
can
movie?
I can overlook that.
The Looms thing was pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, after we saw the movie, we were trying to ask ourselves like, how'd they do that? Was it a deep fake? Was it freaking? We were thinking, but no, it's just a dude that looks.
Practical effects.
It was just a dude that looks a lot like him with just a little bit of makeup. Like, I'm like, dang, that looks.
That's crazy. Yeah, it looked exactly like him.
I was like, what the heck? He's actually. I'm like. I wonder what his family thought of that. I'm very curious what his family thought of that. Probably got his permission. Probably got their permission.
To have a guy that looks exactly like him play a character.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd need to do that, but it would be respectful.
Most time when there's a with like Rogue One, when that they did the deep fake on that guy, they did ask the family if they were okay with it.
Tarkin.
Yeah. But I'd give a Halloween Kills about like a 3
Yeah.
3.5, 3.5.
I'll put it at a 2.5. Like, the kills were my favorite.
No, me too.
That's
It really
like nine.
it's the highest body count of the entire series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, just in the opening scene, there's a higher body count than like the first 6. Probably like every Halloween in the original run.
Mm-hmm. Probably more than the entire series. He annihilates a lot of people in this movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and there's one kill that's not even by him.
Oh yeah, the dude who kills himself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you've seen this. I have not. Dune.
Dune was kind of a false advertising thing. Everybody I talked to did not see that it was Dune Part 1. And when I was in the theaters, a lot of people, you could hear them vocally surprised when it came up as Dune Part 1. The biggest problem wasn't that it was just kind of a mediocre movie. It was that they made the movie with the intention of making a sequel with no green light. It hasn't been produced. There's nothing about the second one. We could end with just this movie. People, for some reason, loved it. I'm not a Dune fan myself.
Well, it did the same thing. There was no guarantee for a second one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Did the same thing.
I would have been okay with that, though. Because they didn't do the interweaving plot. So it was technically self-contained. And as far as Dune goes, though, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody until they release the second one.
I've heard good things. He's the only one I've heard anything negative from.
I don't know why it's getting praise. I'd give it like a 2.
Sam is hard to please.
I like self-contained movies, and I don't like to be tricked. Maybe if it left a bitter taste from the very beginning, basically.
What would you give
that
it?
I knew it was. It's a 2.
All right, next up is
worse.
Ron's Gone Wrong, which I have not seen that, but I want to review it eventually. But I just bought it on Blu-ray. It's a 20th Century Studios movie.
Oh, so Disney.
Well, but it's done by a new animation studio. It's their first feature film. So I really hope it's. I've heard it's really good. Like, it looks very generic, but I've heard it's really good. It
does.
I've heard it's really good.
That's why I really didn't look into it at all. It's just like.
I've been looking into tons of reviews, and apparently it's very good. What else we got? We're nearing the bottom of the barrel. Not bottom of the barrel, it's bad. They're bad. Like we're almost done. Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. Didn't see that because that's a Paramount Plus movie. Oh, here we go. I saw this. Antlers. Oh. I hated this movie. It was so freaking boring. This movie was the most boring movie I have seen all year. And I've seen The Matrix.
It's surprising.
I've seen the new Matrix. That's just a lot.
It's a Guillermo del Toro movie too.
Yeah,
It shocks me.
Like, legit, the freaking movie was so freaking boring. It's available on digital and Blu-ray now, so if you want to see how boring it is yourself, go watch it. It's really boring, and they're scared. There's building up your creature and make building suspense and not wanting to show it off and wanting to build them up. But no, that's not what this is. They're just scared to show their monster. They're scared to show it.
Look good. What'd you say it was on? Blu-ray and
digital. You can buy it on digital.
Is it on a streaming service?
I have no idea. I just know that it's been released digitally, and
I kind of want to. I want to kind of see it actually. See if it's as bad as you've said it is. I don't think the reviews have been good though.
No, there was a lot of hype around it from horror fans too.
Oh yeah, it
was supposed to come out a while ago. It was supposed to come out a while ago. Not even before 2020.
Well, yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for it a long time ago. I completely forgot about it until you talked about wanting to see it.
I wanted to. It looked interesting. The trailers made it look interesting, and the movie sucked. It's one of the worst. It is the worst movie I saw this year. It is the worst movie I saw this year.
Worse than Boss Baby.
I liked that.
Worse than Paw Patrol.
Yes. At least I wasn't At least I had something nice to look at. At least I had decent animation. This movie was just bad.
What's the monster again?
Oh, Wendigo.
Yeah, Wendigo. We probably won't be seeing another Wendigo movie for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Unless someone wants to adapt Until Dawn into a film, I'd love to see that be done. It's a 1 out of 5. I rarely give that rating out. I rarely ever give that rating out. It's the worst horror movie I've seen since Wish Upon. It's that bad.
Wow.
All right, next movie. Something good. Something that I think is good and the rest of the internet does not. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. And Sam, you've seen this one? Eternals.
What, did people really think it was that bad?
It's gotten on a lot of worst of the year lists.
Oh, it was definitely not that bad. It wasn't the best Marvel movie, but I do appreciate seeing something a little different. I liked this through the time stuff.
And one problem that people say the movie had that I didn't feel, they said the characters don't feel they get enough in it. I feel like they got enough. I don't feel like they didn't get enough development.
No, we saw a lot.
Maybe the only character that they didn't is the one that can control people. That's maybe the only one who didn't get a lot.
Well, because he left. He left and he was like...
But everyone else, they did good.
Oh, there is one more. The deaf girl also showed up at the very end.
Yeah, but I feel like you know her at least a little more because you get a little bit of, you can... Yeah, I feel like you feel like I knew her still. The other guy, I'm like, oh yeah, you were a thing. All we knew, good. I guess that was his name. I don't remember his name. That's how forgettable he was. But the whole thing, the thing is like it just wasn't interesting to me. It
was another liar revealed, though.
Have we seen that in the MCU? Loki doesn't count.
I don't know. I assume so.
Maybe.
We've seen it. I don't know if we have, but that doesn't make it a good thing. It's a good thing for the other MCU movies.
But one thing that Kevin Feige said about this movie before it came out, this does change the course of the MCU.
Well, yeah, there's the Celestial.
The Celestials are mad that the new one didn't get born, so there's probably something, and he kidnapped the spoilers. He kidnapped the ones at the end, the ones that were still on Earth, and then you get that post-credit scene, which I didn't know what that was supposed to be.
What was it?
It was the dude that she was talking to, like, well, it was her boyfriend, and like he opens that sword.
The Black Knight. The Black Knight.
Yeah, I know nothing about that character.
It's a Marvel character. He's got like a sword and stuff.
But yeah, I'd give it a 4. Not 4. No, too high. I'd give it a 3. I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
I could agree with that. I would give it a 3 too.
I don't think it's as bad as it's been.
It didn't feel like a Marvel movie. It did not feel like a Marvel movie.
It was different.
There was some unnecessary stuff though, like the sex scene.
Oh yeah, that could have been left out.
I went and saw that with my family.
Yeah, that could have been left out. Definitely.
Not really something we need in Marvel movies.
Next one is a movie that was on Netflix, which I did watch. Red Notice.
Oh yeah, the Ryan Reynolds and Rock.
Going into it, I thought those two would make a great pairing, and for a good portion of the movie, yeah. At first I was like, okay. Then the movie kept going. It's not good. It's a generic action comedy. And when I say
expected that though.
When I say generic, I mean very generic, and I gotta give it a solid 2 out of 5. I see why that was dumped on Netflix.
Just a comedy.
And it's a kind of a liar reveal too, and a plot twist.
Again.
Thing is, you don't know it's a liar though, but it's still. Okay, we only got about a good handful left. All right, Clifford, I'm gonna go really quick on this one. Clifford was fun. I enjoyed it, and it wasn't bad at all. I'll give it I had very low expectations. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Tick Tick Boom, didn't want to watch it. I mean, I wanted to watch it because it's freaking it's a musical. And it stars Andrew Garfield.
Oh, interesting.
Which I think they said he had to learn to sing for this movie, and from what I've heard, it's really good. Because I've heard some of the music, and it sounds really nice.
Pick somebody who could sing as like a criteria for the movie.
Well, I think he could sing, that he didn't have good control over his singing voice, and he had to be taught. Home Sweet Home Alone. Really, 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 really bad.
Was the new Home Alone made on Disney Plus?
Yes. 1.5. It's not as bad as Antlers, but it's still pretty bad.
I heard Buzz had a cameo.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. But acknowledging the original does not make your movie good.
No.
It makes it worse by comparison. Lag. Oh, am I good? Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yep. You're good.
What's our next? Okay, we've both seen this. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Very split opinion on this. I did not feel like a Ghostbusters movie. That's reason enough for me to just not think much of it. It's another Stranger Things kind of bandwagon thing.
You even got an actor from Stranger Things in it.
Yeah, Finn Wolfhard. It's kind of just taking 80s culture and just like, I remember this, I remember that. But they could have done and it was kind of, we had Force Ghost, Harold Ramis, and a rehash of the original story.
You should have gave spoiler warning.
It doesn't look good.
Me personally,
they should have ended it with.
And then I guess it may. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. The fact that I did not grow up with Ghostbusters. I saw literally the first two. Oop! Lag. Wait, one sec. Wait. Hey, sorry, I had a lag. I had a lag spike. I didn't grow up with Ghostbusters, but I did like this movie, and I've heard genuinely positive things about it from a lot of fans of the originals, but also I have heard some negatives. Majority rule, it's a more positive reviews, but I do see where Sam's coming from. But personally, I did enjoy this movie a lot, and it's definitely probably one of my favorites of the year. And I like the whole kid dynamic. I've always have. It's a lot of fun for me, and because it's just a lot of fun, and I thought it was getting to see a Ghostbusters movie on the big screen. It does feel like a Ghostbusters movie to me. I'm not a long-time fan, so maybe that just means different for some people. But I did like it, and I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5, I think.
I'd put it at a 2.5 just because of all the hateful scenes, but that wasn't enough to redeem it a genuinely.
Yeah, understandable. I completely understand that. Give me 1 second. I need to do something real quick to make my game stop lagging. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me? Can I be heard?
Yes.
All right. All right, let's get to the next film, which is King. A really great and heartwarming film. Will Smith is at his best in this movie. Like, I think Will Smith did a fantastic job with this movie. It was so much fun, and I think it was so heartwarming, and I wouldn't lag. I wouldn't change anything about the movie. I think it did very well. What and Tom hasn't seen it, so he has nothing to say. Solid 4 out of 5. No, 4.5. 4.5, I think is where I put it.
Yeah, that's pretty high up there. Not big into the drama stuff.
Okay, after that, we've got... Okay, I think I skipped over one. Did I skip over one? When did Resident... Oh, there it is. Yep, here it is. It's not... We're not... Next one is one we've both seen. Encanto.
That was a good movie. One of my favorites of the year.
Definitely. I loved. I saw it twice. I loved Encanto. Sorry. I pronounce it Encanto the way it's supposed to be pronounced. The movie... The movie is so freaking good. The animation, it's from modern Disney, so of course it's gonna be phenomenal. The music though, they feel like Broadway numbers. That's what I love about it. Which we may or may not be turning it into a theater show in Rec Room. May or may not.
Maybe. It really brings me back to like when Disney had iconic movies with grandiose numbers, like in Little Mermaid. Even though the plot was so kind of small and insignificant when it comes to scale compared to what they've been doing recently, it's just a village and a house. And tragic.
Sorry, I froze. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I froze. My I could hear you, but like my entire screen was frozen. Okay.
It was good.
I
have a lot of positive things to say about it. And yes, the music they did a great job on the soundtrack. And Lin-Manuel Miranda actually worked on this movie as well.
He was a busy man this year.
He's a talented guy.
He had his directing debut this year as well.
Oh, what did he do? Wow.
I don't know. No, I think it might have been. No, it might have been what everyone's talking about. Jamie, no, it wasn't. That was a UK made film. It was something else. I don't know what it was. But Encanto...
This might have been one of my favorite movies of the year. It's definitely top 3.
Oh,
I'd give it a 4.
Yeah, this movie was phenomenal. The animation, the music. For Pete's sake, on the way home, we're listening to the sound on the way home. That's how good this movie was. Like, and I fell in love with the soundtrack instantly. We don't talk about Bruno, Surface Pressure, freaking All of You, Family Madrigal. All the songs are bops.
They were great. Tapping a foot in the theater.
And the thing is, both times I saw it, there was no one else in the theater.
I had a whole house. I thought the opening
When I went and saw it, it's been out. It's been out for a good amount of time by the time I saw it. So I'd go with a solid 4. My gosh, stop with the darn lag. We're almost done.
Next.
Give me a sec. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, next we've got. Oh, this is another one for you. House of Gucci. I didn't see this one.
House of Gucci, Ridley Scott's modern take on the events of what happened to the Gucci family it was drama. Jared Leto was in it. They gave him full reign of his character. He sounded like a brother. Good cast. Adam Driver's a great. Lady Gaga, not so much. And like
Sorry. I'm here.
Much like the Black Widow thing, they had a little bit of a problem with some of the music. There was a wedding that took place in 1878, and they had Faith by George Michael playing, which was from like 1989.
Dang, seriously?
You'd think they wouldn't have... Yeah, it didn't fit. But there was a lot of good music in it. It might have been a little long. Al Pacino was in it. But it was a drama based on real events. They rushed the last act. It's really split on what people say about it. I wouldn't give that high of a score, as I was kind of bored through some of it. But like a 2.5, 3 at the highest. I wouldn't recommend it though.
All right. Let's get to our next film, which is Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. This movie is trying to do too much. One, it basically you go into it. They expect you to go into it having all the knowledge of the games ahead of time, which is not what you should do when you adapt something. Basically, yeah, they expect you to basically know who these characters are going into it. But being someone who's never played the first 2 Resident Evil games, that was like, okay, I don't know who these characters are, so thanks. And they're trying to squeeze the first 2 games into one movie, which is really dumb. Like, extremely dumb. Like, it's just bad. And I think I gave the movie a 2 out of 5, I think. When I reviewed it the first time, and that still stands. It's not even that interesting. So, what do we have next? The Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, didn't see it. Back, okay, didn't see that. Mixtape. Lee. Probably one of the most surprises of the year was West Side Story.
I was going to go see that. I still haven't.
It's still playing.
It looked really good, though. Yeah, I might go do a double feature when I go see the Kingsman. And there's this movie called Licorice Pizza that I want to go see.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
I heard about that. West Side Story, going into it, it was a musical, so I was excited, but I've heard like the original movie is like what held as one of the best musicals of all time. So that means this movie had a lot to live up to. And I've heard some people say they prefer this one to the original, which is a good thing to hear. You don't normally hear that with a remake. And the music, dancing, the characters, the diverse cast, like this movie is so good. And there's like the emotions, like there was like I legit had a moment in the theater where I went like out loud, not even joking. I went I barely do that with movies, but like I had a legit moment with this movie. Like it legit blew my mind. And like I can't, like, oh no, and like this, you feel the emotion. The music makes you want to freaking dance. Like with the upbeat numbers, you want to dance. Oh, and this movie gets to certain points like wow. I don't want to say anything else. Solid 4 out of 5.
Wow. Would you say it's one of your favorites of the year?
Definitely in the top 5. Okay, let's see. Next we got biggest movie of the year.
Wolf.
For some reason that's not on here, but if you want to talk about that real quick beforehand, go ahead.
I got like 2 things to say about it. It's very, very bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, especially in theaters. Great actor, couldn't save the movie. 1 out of 5.
Before we talk about the next movie that I want to talk about real quick, there is one more.
Oh, we didn't do Kong vs. Zilla wasn't on the list.
Oh, I skipped straight over that. Let's talk about that real quick. What did you think of Godzilla vs. Kong?
It was like a kid playing with 2 action figures. Those action fights were so friggin' cool. The plot was so ridiculous. Spaceships going to the center of the earth.
This movie knew what they were going for. They were straight up. People wanted to see.
They gave the people what they wanted.
They wanted to see
fun stuff.
Freaking a giant kaiju fight a giant gorilla. That's what they wanted to see, and that's what we got.
We got it on giant warships. We got it in neon bright Tokyo.
And if you did not get to see this movie in theaters, I feel bad for you. This was a big screen movie.
I watched it on the HBO Max. It was still early in the swing. HBO Max.
I loved it. It was so much fun. I think I gave it a 3.5. I think what I gave it in my original review.
I would agree with that. For what it is, it's not like a piece of art. It's just a really fun movie to watch.
All right, before we get to the final one, I remember another movie that I saw, which isn't on this list that I'm going off of because this is American released movies. I saw the new Sword Art Online movie. I forgot what it was exactly called, but the new one that came out, just look it up. It was kind of a reboot of the series, but from Asuna's perspective. And getting to see that movie, that world on the big screen was so amazing to me. Freaking the characters were so much fun to watch. And freaking the animation was just phenomenal. I loved it. I loved seeing an anime on the big screen for the very first time. It was really, really nice.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of heart to it, even though a lot of it we saw in the anime is just old. But from Asuna's perspective, even though and it adds a new character too. And there's 2 more movies planned apparently with this. So I'm excited to see those. And I hope my theater shows them because I'd love to see them in theaters. I do not want to watch them at home. All right, give me a sec. Let me stop lagging. Before we talk about the final movie. Well, no, not final.
Technically, You
One
got
sec.
2 movies that I think besides that.
2 movies. Should I save that one for the
Matrix,
very
American
end?
Underdog. I would go for the, for the very end, save the big movie of the year.
Okay, well, we'll say that for the end. Um, let's go with American Underdog real quick. Give me one sec. I gotta fix my thing weird. All right, I'm back. You hear me?
Mhm.
All right. American Underdog. I got to see this early actually because my theater had early access screenings, so I really am thankful for that. I got to see it a whole week before it came out. This movie was great. It's so much of a heartfelt film. I'm not even into football, and I loved this movie. It's definitely an emotional one. It's a tear jerker. It's an inspirational film. Like you're gonna want to. If you're someone who's a football fan, I'm lagging. This is the worst lag I've had all day. They're very bad lag. Very bad lag. But this is one of the most inspirational movies of the year for like a drama or the two. This and King Richard were two of the best dramas I've seen in a while. Come on. Why are you doing this? All right, I'm back. Sorry. Give me a second. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
All right, I'm back. All right. But I'd have to give it a solid 4. I won't give it. No, I'll give it a 3.5. I'll give it a 3.5. You can hear me, right? All right. Next one to talk about is what is it called? The Matrix what?
Resurrections. I'm gonna mute my mic or mute my volume. So say whatever you want about it. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not. I won't spoil anything.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you when I will get the spoilers, and you can mute me. I didn't like the first 45 minutes. It got really boring, and by the time I got to the second half, I've already lost interest. Action scenes are not as good as in some of the other Matrix movies. But I will say I did enjoy this more than the least favorite one I have. And okay, this is when you can mute me. Am I muted? Okay. Okay, good. Spoilers for this movie. Why the heck is Neil Patrick Harris a major character? Why is Harris a major character? I don't understand why Neil Patrick Harris is a major character in this movie. I don't know why. I give the movie a 2.5 out of 5. Oh no, I'll be nice and give it a very, 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 very low 3.
Okay. I'll have to get around to watching that. I don't think I'll watch the trilogy again.
Last movie to talk about before we get to the big one of the year. Sing 2. If you liked the first one, you will definitely like the second one. It's just more of it. Personally, I think I enjoyed the song numbers more because it felt more of a spectacle. And I will think, just for that part alone, I did enjoy seeing this on the big screen. It was a lot of fun, and I am lagging once again, and it's making me very mad. Give me a stop. Oh. Okay. It was a really fun film, and I did enjoy this movie, and it was a lot of fun. I'd recommend it if you haven't checked it out yet. One second, guys. I'm loading in. Okay. Can I be heard?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Time for the big one. The biggest movie of lagging. Stop lagging. Now is not the time for this.
We could go to a room without a mirror.
No, we're at the end. We're almost done. The biggest movie of the year, Spider-Man No Way Home. First things first, we'll talk about it without spoilers. And then we'll go into spoilers. I'll let Sam talk about what he liked about the movie without spoiling at first.
Without spoil.
It's very hard.
That's a loaded question. The fight sequences were all really cool. I like the villains. It was nice to see some of those old guys again. Not necessarily the Amazing Spider-Man ones. I don't really care much for those, but seeing the Green Goblin and Doc Ock again was just amazing. And the whole dynamic between Peter and Stephen Strange was interesting.
I find it funny that hey, that's still weird, but I'll allow it.
Steven. Yeah. Scooby this crap.
But they don't say crap in the movie.
In the movie, they didn't say crap. But in the mirror.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a really cool sequence.
It was really cool to see that again. If they're not, we haven't seen that since Doctor Strange, the movie.
That was a long time ago.
2016.
I wasn't a big fan of MJ in this movie, but she's always like really not a very good like romantic interest. Felt kind of the same way with Gwen Stacy, the Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm going to highly disagree
Best
with you on that. Not about Ned. I agree with Ned. I think MJ is fantastic. I loved the chemistry between them. I loved the chemistry. I feel like it was executed very well because you feel like it's first starting off in the last movie, and then like they legitimately care about each other. I feel like it's a really strong connection, and I feel like it's done greatly. And the movie itself is just such a good movie. It is well fought. The fight scenes are great. The fan service doesn't like the normal like short fan service. It feels like it works for the plot because like it. Okay, and the
movie centered around fan service. So now that you mention it,
but it works though, unlike some movies. Matrix Resurrections.
I did really like No Way Home. And a large part of it is because of fan service.
All right. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Toby and Andrew.
They're both at
when they showed up the theater.
Plotting.
Yeah, they loved. And I freaking blew my mind. Like when the first portal opens up, when freaking Ned opens up the first portal, freaking, I'm like looking down the thing. I'm like,
I was like,
okay.
no way, no way.
I'm like, that's not Tom Holland. And he comes out. I'm like, I recognize that Spider because you know, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, so I know that suit.
Yeah.
So I was like, is that actually him? Don't screw with me, so don't screw with me, Sony and Marvel. I'm like, don't screw with me, man. Like this is actually him, and he takes that mask off, and I was like, bruh. And part of me is like, okay, they could only get Andrew Garfield. They're not gonna bring in Toby. That's where my brain was going, like, cause Toby. But then that other portal opens up. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go straight to Peter. And freaking Tobey Maguire under his clothes,
just like he would in the movie.
And everyone except for Sam has said this that I've talked to and reviews that I've seen. Oh, lag, stop. Wait, give me a second with the lag. Lag. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Andrew Garfield has some of the best lines in this movie.
He has
Tobey Maguire
lines, yeah,
did
but
not.
I think Toby had the better.
Well,
he had
that's just
funnier lines too. Very much callbacks to the "ow, my back" and I've been stabbed before, and the chafing of the suit. You know, it's a little tight. It was so many memories.
For freaking, one of my favorite things is like the fact when like Andrew Garfield is like talking bad about himself, and then Tobey Maguire goes like,
"You're amazing.
No, you're amazing. You're amazing." Not only is like him saying amazing, like the Amazing Spider-Man, but like that's people who say Tobey Maguire's Andrew Garfield is the worst, is not a good Spider-Man. Literally, your favorite Spider-Man straight up says you're amazing.
He didn't say he was more amazing though.
I do think Tobey. You know my
that
stance
just goes
on
to
that.
show that goes to show you that the best Spider-Man can say other Spider-Man are good too because he is the best.
My personally, Andrew Garfield is my favorite. Like I'm gonna stick by that. But freaking seeing all three Spider-Men though, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, all three of them.
It's the biggest crossover we've had in like the last 10 years. This was bigger than Infinity
This is bigger than
War.
Endgame. This is bigger than that.
It was.
And bruh,
that's 20 years of Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's like something that people thought that would never happen.
I mean, like everybody freaking was able to get a kick out of it because Spider-Man's been a part of so many people's lives for these last years. 20 years ago, like, heck, my mom watched Spider-Man when it came out, and it was like, wow, seeing him again, he's old, just time has gone by.
It's crazy what they and
it was a very special moment.
Sony and Marvel are gonna look at this and they are not just gonna throw them aside. This is not gonna be the last time we see them.
I think I can say for most people when I say that I want to see new movies from both of them.
I want an Amazing Spider-Man 3. I want a Spider-Man 4.
Exactly.
Mostly, I don't think they'll do that. I think maybe they'll appear in other Sonyverse movies, probably. The ones that they make.
They wrote Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, but... and also, they cure all the villains and everything, so that creates new timelines.
It would be interesting to explore that.
Because obviously, that Tobey Maguire is still going to go back to his timeline where they all died.
Yeah. it splinters so many times. That's why time travel is such a weird
And
thing.
gosh, if you don't know what we're talking about, then you haven't seen Loki.
They did a good job, though. I felt like I knew what the heck they were talking
And
about.
the way they ended this movie is exactly what Tom Holland's Spider-Man needed.
Him being
Because everyone was
reason to fight.
No, everyone was complaining that like Tom Holland's Spider-Man hasn't gone through something to mess him up, or he's too reliant on Stark technology. But me, who's calling me? I'm in the middle of a live stream. Who's calling me?
Sounds like an alarm.
That's not coming from my computer either. I can't turn it off because I don't know who's doing it.
Discord call?
Yeah, I can't turn it off. I don't know who's doing it. There, I had to call someone and stop it to make it stop. Okay. But back to what I was saying. What was I saying?
I don't remember.
I don't have a problem with I never really had a problem with the tech and everything, because I see what they were doing now. They were giving him all the tech and everything. So he would at first he is naive. He's a kid. He doesn't learn, and everything's just handed to him. But eventually that all gets ripped from him, and he has to live on his own and
You think that was
learn.
part of that, though?
I do think that was planned.
That was in the
I
plan?
do think that was planned. I do think that was planned. I legit do think that was planned. I do.
They had phase 1, and then phase 2, they had the second plan.
I think they had that. Maybe not from when he joined, not from when he appeared in Civil War, but from Homecoming onward, I think they had that planned out. I think that was their plan for Spider-Man. And I think it was executed very well. Here's the one thing how in the world are you going to top the next, because there was already announced another trilogy. How are you going to top that? You're not going to be able to. But obviously I don't want them to bring them back into this new trilogy, because it would just that would feel too fan servicey. Because they'd be like, you got him in this movie. We got to see him deal. A lot of people are suspecting that like Black Cat will show up and stuff like that, which would really work.
Black Cat is a major part of Spider-Man. And
now that he doesn't have MJ, it's definitely something that happens. Because Black Cat and with Spider-Man has always been an on again, off again relationship thing for him. So that could be something that happens. And who knows how big of a time gap it'll be when we get to the next Spider-Man movie. Who knows?
That's true.
Because obviously we're not going to get another trilogy for a while. The next trilogy for a while. It'd probably be a good few years till we get another Spider-Man film. Well, not another Tom Holland Spider-Man film where we're going to get movies with with Spider-Man characters, but like Morbius comes out next in January.
And it's nice that they're aging the character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's on his way to college. He's gonna start growing up and becoming Spider-Man.
And I do like the fact that he lost Aunt May. It did hurt to see him lose Aunt May, but he needed something.
They killed her.
He needed something like that to push him to be.
Where's Uncle Ben?
I don't think this timeline in this universe there is an Uncle Ben. Which doesn't need it.
It's kind of random that she said the whole line. No, it
Well,
felt
no,
out of
'cause
place
it-
from coming from her.
No, not really, because it's been established that every variant of someone of them goes through the same thing in a different way.
Yeah, no. But with great power comes great responsibility. Why did she say that?
Because he doesn't have an Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben was a cop, though.
Uncle Ben was not a cop.
Wasn't he a cop?
No, Miles Morales' dad was a cop. That's what you're thinking of.
No. Like, Uncle Ben is obviously a lot older, but I'm pretty sure he was a cop when he was younger. In the Tobey Maguire movies? What was he?
I don't remember. He was not a cop. I just recently watched the first two Spider-Man movies, but he was not a cop.
What the heck was he? I know he wasn't a cop when he was in the movies.
I know, but they did not talk about him being a cop.
Scientist.
But I really do like what they did with this movie, and I do think I cannot give it. I have to give it a solid 5 out of 5. I'm sorry. I think this is my favorite Spider-Man movie out of the entire franchise. I really love this movie, and I cannot wait to see.
It's close. It's close. I'd put it at 4.5 though, because 5's a masterpiece. This movie had a few issues with it.
I had to put it at a solid 5. I'm sorry.
Perfect?
I don't think any movie's perfect. Just because I put it at a 5 does not mean it's perfect.
That's why we have a 5. Anyway, blah, 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 blah.
That will be it, guys. I cannot wait to talk more with you guys. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let us know down in the comments or in the chat or whatever. We had a lot of fun. 2021 was a good year for movies. I think it was a good year for movies.
We had a very diverse lineup.
Very
a lot of different things.
Then again, a lot of that was supposed to come out last year.
That just gave us a fuller this year.
So let's hope 2022 can live up with movies, and I hope everyone has a good rest of their year, and I hope God bless every single one of y'all, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be doing another live stream tomorrow, hopefully for New Year's, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Gotta stop the stream.